Hi, we're here for the Motorcycle.com Midsize cruiser shootout kind of thing. Middle of the road, 700cc cruisers. Kind of the reason we're here is because the new Kawasaki Vulcan S is here. Just came out this year. It's about $69.99, so it's about 7,000 bucks. 650cc twin engine from the Versus and the other Kawasaki that uses that engine. It's a great little parallel twin. And the Harley Street 750 we've tested before. It's a 750cc V-twin. It's about $74.99 base price. And the Honda CTX700 we played with before too. It's a great motorcycle and exactly the same $69.99 as the Kawasaki. So we're out in the country now, out by Cook's Corners, kind of famous biker spot out in Orange County, and we're going to ride around a little bit more out here in the curvy roads, and then we're going to head back to the city because these are kind of urban trawlers too. So we're here at the Gypsy Den in beautiful downtown Santa Ana. We've been riding around on these bikes all day. Had a good time. Did some riding around in the city too, because that's what they're about, kind of, huh? And as usual, we don't really have a consensus. I know Troy hates the Harley. I kind of like the Harley, but I don't know. What do you think?
Hate's a strong word, John. I mean,
but you used it a lot of times today.
We've said this before about the Harley. It's a great engine, but the supporting package is kind of not quite up to the task.
But it is better suspended than the Kawasaki is. That was my biggest gripe with the Kawasaki, or one of my biggest gripes is that, it's because it was just tossing me out of the seat on some of these rougher roads that we were riding. So, it might have minimal travel like on the Harley, but it's still a better suspended bike. And it's the heaviest bike here, I believe, isn't it?
The Kawasaki's right in the middle. It's
a few pounds?
It's about 500 pounds.
Yeah.
And the Harley's about 10 pounds heavier than the Kawasaki. And surprisingly, the Honda kind of looks bigger to me. Looks chunkier, but it's actually the lightest bike here. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, when it comes in terms of ride, I was a little disappointed about the Kawasaki being the newest bike. I thought they'd have it pretty dialed in. Like the Versus has really good suspension, but yeah, it's kind of a choppy ride on that thing. As long as the road's smooth, it's okay, but when it gets choppy, that was my least favorite bike to be on.
But is that the sacrifice you make for a low seat height?
They're all pretty low, but
because this Honda suspension was fine as well, and I don't think it has a ton of travel.
I think the Honda is the most comfortable bike of the group, for cruising around. It's kind of the least exciting, but it seems like it's the most confident one if you want a bike that's comfortable and handles chopped up pavement and stuff. It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
for the tallest guy here, the seat to foot peg ratio and handlebars fit me great. I love the little insets on the fuel tank where you can just bring your knees together. It's nice and thin, and if it's cold out, you can cancel the air from coming up from there.
Overall, I'd probably say the Kawasaki has my favorite engine, but the Harley has character, which in a class like this, character is a pretty important thing for a motorcycle to have.
And when you're talking about feeling cramped on it, you're like 5'11", I'm 5'8". Mm-hmm. That's what I like about the Harley. It feels real small and compact to me. It's like 10 pounds more than the Kawasaki, like we said, but to me it feels smaller and it feels like the quickest reacting and quickest turning one to me. I think it's only just needs a front brake and it'd be a nice bike.
I think for maybe, say, newish rider, you're going to have good control over that motorcycle because of its kind of smaller cockpit area where these guys are a little bit more stretched out.
For taller.
Yeah.
The Honda in particular, I think, would fit a taller guy better.
I mean, I think when I rode the Honda, I thought to myself, there's no particular area of the CTX that stands out, whereas, you know, like the Harley and the Cowie have engines that stand out as being really fun and powerful. As a whole, I like the Honda as a whole. As a sum of its parts, it's a really good motorcycle.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to stand out in any particular way, but it really doesn't fail in any particular way either, where, again, we've got the bad brakes on the Harley, the bad suspension on the Kawasaki, so between the three, I mean, if you're looking at the Harley, that's the most expensive bike here. You can get the Cowie, the Vulcan S, with ABS included for less money than you can the Harley. So, you know, that's kind of an important aspect, I think, to look at. The Honda is the cheapest, but it doesn't have ABS.
Yeah. If you had to pick one right now, what would you pick?
For me, I'm torn. It's not the Harley. It's coming in third already. I know that, for me. Between the Honda, I like the all-around niceness of the Honda. Like I said, you can't really fault it in any big way, but I prefer the performance of the Vulcan. I like that engine more. It's sportier, it revs up, it's faster. It's a more fun motorcycle, but I'm more comfortable on this. You know, it doesn't have ABS as it is, so there's a kind of things I gotta, you know, compare and contrast between the two, because man, it's a tough one between those. But the Harley, it looks great from this distance. You get up a little closer, and then we said this in the last shootout, you know, you start seeing wires sticking out here and there, and this great big L bracket horn mount on the left side.
Yeah, but you know, that's kind of the thing that's always been what Harleys are about, kind of. You buy it and then you start, well, old ones used to be, you bought it and then you mess with it to make it the bike you want. And that's kind of why I like the street, because I can look at stuff and go, oh, I'm going to fix that. And I'm gonna replace the front brake with something from the junkyard.
Wait, so you're gonna pull up your friend's house with your brand new Harley and go, guys, look at this. I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix that.
I'm gonna grind down all those welds and everything. I'm not gonna do it the first weekend I have it, but I'll do it eventually. Okay, we have to wrap this one up. We're talking and talking like we always do. We could go on for hours, but people don't want to hear us.
No.
So we're gonna go back and vote on the scorecard and read it on Motorcycle.com, as always. The end.